Hey, Celtics Nation. Let's dive into the latest updates surrounding our beloved Boston Celtics. And today, we're going to focus on something that's been on everyone's mind: shooting. It's no secret that the team's shooting has been inconsistent, and it raises a question that keeps popping up. If they improve their shooting, does that solve the real issues, or is it just a temporary fix? This is a team that has talent, but when the numbers are this off, you have to wonder if there's something deeper at play. Right now, the Celtics are scoring just over 1 point per possession on unguarded catch-and-shoot three-pointers, which is a dramatic drop for where they were last season. Last year, they were among the league leaders, but this season, they're struggling in situations that should be simple. Unguarded shots, wide-open opportunities, chances that normally give confidence and momentum, are now falling short more often than not, and that's not just a coincidence. It's a symptom of broader issues in how the team is executing offensively. If you look at the game against Utah, it becomes painfully clear. The Celtics hit only 6 out of 20 wide-open attempts, mostly from three-point range, and that's the kind of efficiency that can't sustain a winning record against solid competition. 14 open looks missed. Just imagine 14 opportunities where points were essentially handed to them, and they couldn't convert. On the surface, it's easy to say, fix the shooting, and they'll be fine. But the reality is more complicated than that. Improving the shots might cover up some cracks, but underneath, there are bigger issues. The team's spacing, their ability to create high-quality looks against disciplined defenses, and the consistency of their offensive sets all play a role. You can't just throw better shooting percentages at a problem if the opportunities themselves are being compromised by movement, timing, or defensive pressure that the team isn't adjusting to effectively. It's also worth considering the individual roles and how the roster is built. Players like Derek White are talented, versatile, and capable of carrying offensive weight, but the way defenses are adapting to him now, with tighter spacing, more physicality, and less room to operate, poses challenges. He's still figuring out how to navigate this system in a way that maximizes his skills. It's not about questioning his talent. It's about understanding the environment he's playing in. The same applies to other contributors. Anthony Simons and Sam Hauser can make shots and sometimes change the course of a game, but relying on streaky shooting nights is not a sustainable model for success. This team doesn't yet generate consistent open looks against top-tier opponents the way they did in previous seasons, and that gap becomes glaring in crucial moments. When you watch the Celtics in action, you notice flashes of brilliance, moments where ball movement looks sharp and energy is high. In some games, like the first quarter against certain opponents, they'll have a lead and everything seems to be clicking. But as the game progresses, the rhythm often falters. The ball sticks, shots aren't falling, and the cracks in the system start to show. The Celtics don't have a deep pool of creators who can consistently break down defenses on their own, which puts extra pressure on players like Derek White. When the spacing isn't there and the physicality ramps up, you start to see the limitations of even the most skilled players. That's not a failure of effort. It's an adjustment period within a system that is still finding its identity and balance. Rebounding and pace of play are other critical factors. The Celtics are not yet dominating the boards or pushing the tempo in a way that defines their games. There are moments when the team moves the ball quickly and looks impressive, but these are sporadic. The challenge is sustaining that pace for 48 minutes, and right now, there's too much fluctuation. Jaylen Brown wants to play fast, but the reality of integrating the desire with team-wide execution is another hurdle. Consistency in transition, in quick ball movement, and in generating clean shots under pressure is essential, and the Celtics are still finding their rhythm in these areas. Looking at recent games, each one becomes a data point. Wins and losses reflect more than just shooting efficiency. They reveal underlying patterns. Beating a weaker opponent doesn't necessarily confirm progress, just as a loss to a strong team highlights deficiencies. The game against Utah is a perfect example. Numbers, effort, and strategy all intersected, but the results left more questions than answers. Did one missed foul call or a misread opportunity swing the game entirely? Possibly, but not entirely. The underlying issues with spacing, shot creation, and consistency remain. It's not a single moment. It's a collection of patterns that the team must address to reach its potential. As we continue to watch this season unfold, it's clear that while shooting is important, it's only one piece of a larger puzzle. The Celtics need to build systems that create high-quality opportunities consistently, balance individual roles with team strategy, and maintain pace and energy across entire games. There will be nights when hot shooting carries them, but those nights alone won't define a successful season. We have to look deeper, examining both the numbers and the nuances of how the team operates under pressure. The effort is there, the talent is evident, but translating that into consistent results requires more than just making open shots. It's about structure, adjustment, and execution on multiple levels. Derek White, Anthony Simons, Sam Hauser, Jaylen Brown, and the rest of the roster each have their roles to play, but the team's identity is still evolving. Adjustments are being made in real time, and the learning curve is part of what this early season is all about. How players adapt to physical defenders, how they respond when shots aren't falling, and how the team maintains cohesion when momentum swings are crucial. This is the reality of building a team that can compete at a high level over a long season. Moments of brilliance are exciting, but the true measure of success will be how the Celtics respond to adversity, adapt to defensive schemes, and sustain performance night after night. Watching games and analyzing performances, you notice patterns that indicate where improvements are needed. The Celtics are pushing, adjusting, and experimenting, trying to find the balance between speed, spacing, and precision. It's a process that involves patience and understanding that not every game will be perfect. There will be highs and lows, and each challenge presents a lesson. The goal is not just to make more shots, but to create a system where those shots are consistently available, where players have the space to operate effectively, and where defensive pressure can be managed through team strategy. This season, the Celtics are navigating the tension between potential and performance. Individual talent is undeniable, and there will be games where the offense clicks and everything seems unstoppable. But those moments, while thrilling, cannot obscure the deeper issues that need to be addressed. From rebounding to pace to creating clean offensive looks, the team is still ironing out the kinks. The interplay between player ability, defensive adaptation, and in-game adjustments defines whether hot streaks translate into sustainable success or remain isolated flashes of brilliance. The narrative of this Celtics season is still being written, with each game adding another layer of insight. Success won't be defined solely by shooting percentages, though they matter. It will be determined by how the team integrates individual contributions into a cohesive strategy, maintains energy and focus throughout entire games, and adapts to the challenges posed by elite competition. Watching Derek White and others adjust to new roles, cope with defensive intensity, and respond to pressure is part of understanding how the team will evolve. Ultimately, the Celtics are in a process of growth and refinement. The shooting struggles are visible, but they are intertwined with broader structural questions about spacing, pace, and player roles. The team has moments of brilliance, but sustaining that across a season requires more than individual effort. It demands a cohesive approach, consistent execution, and the ability to navigate adversity while maintaining identity. Observing these dynamics in real time provides insight not just into performance statistics, but into the evolving strategy and potential trajectory of this season. Continuing with the Celtics' journey this season, one of the most striking things is how the team responds in real time when things don't go as planned. Every possession, every missed shot, and every turnover adds to the narrative of what this team is becoming. Take Derek White, for example. His ability to analyze, adjust, and push forward is remarkable, but even with his skill set, the physical demands of navigating crowded defenses are significant. It's not just about scoring points, it's about creating opportunities, drawing defenders, and maintaining composure in high-pressure moments. These subtleties often go unnoticed by casual observers, but they're critical in understanding why certain games swing the way they do. White's performance can illuminate both the strengths and the weaknesses of the current roster, revealing how the team functions under duress. Then there's the question of balance. how individual talent integrates with collective execution. Players like Jaylen Brown thrive when the pace is fast and the spacing is optimal. Yet translating that preference into consistent performance over 48 minutes is a different challenge. The team shows flashes of what it could be: crisp ball movement, high-energy transitions, and quick decision-making. Yet those flashes are uneven, sometimes fading when pressure mounts or when defenses adjust mid-game. This inconsistency is part of the learning curve, and it emphasizes that the Celtics are still shaping an identity that balances speed, spacing, and strategic execution. It's about creating a system where talent can shine without being hindered by lapses in rhythm or coordination. Rebounding is another area that impacts how this team functions. The Celtics have struggled to dominate the boards consistently, and when they fail to secure rebounds, it affects everything else: transition opportunities, second chance points, and the ability to dictate tempo. A missed rebound can stall momentum, force players into half-court sets, and ultimately reduce the effectiveness of shooters who rely on flow and spacing. These subtleties illustrate that improving shooting percentages alone won't solve the core problems. Without control of the glass, without consistent pace, and without structured spacing, the team's potential is capped regardless of individual talent. Every game is a data point, a puzzle piece in understanding what this team truly needs to succeed. Wins against weaker opponents can be misleading if they mask underlying vulnerabilities, just as losses against top teams highlight areas for growth. The recent matchup against the Utah Jazz is a perfect case study. Missed open shots, questionable calls, and defensive adjustments all intersected to produce a result that reflects deeper trends. It's tempting to focus on isolated moments, like a foul that wasn't called, but the broader picture shows that structural issues persist, and they will continue to affect outcomes if left unaddressed. Offensive spacing is central to this discussion. The Celtics have talented scorers, but the effectiveness of those scorers is often tied to the space they are given and the defensive attention they attract. When spacing breaks down, it compromises the ability of shooters to find rhythm and forces ball handlers into contested situations. The result is a domino effect: contested shots, increased turnovers, and fewer high-quality opportunities. Correcting these spacing issues is about more than just drills or repetition. It's about understanding team dynamics, recognizing defensive tendencies, and adapting in real time. Players like Derek White are learning to navigate these challenges, but the process takes time, and early season struggles are part of that developmental curve. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The NBA rumor mill is swirling once again, and this time, all eyes are on Kevin Durant and the Boston Celtics. Late last night, sources close to the superstar forward hinted an unexpected message directed toward the Celtics, a team that has dominated headlines with its mix of youth, experience, and championship pedigree. While details remain scarce, whispers in the league suggest Durant may be signaling a potential shift in the East, a move that could upend the balance of power in ways few saw coming. Durant, known as much for his on-court brilliance as for his occasionally cryptic social media posts, has been the subject of endless speculation regarding his next destination. Fans and analysts alike have long debated whether he would seek a new challenge, chase another title, or reunite with familiar faces. The latest message to Boston, however, seems less like a casual remark and more like a strategic nudge, almost a chess move aimed at stirring the pot. Insiders say the tone of Durant's remarks carried both respect and challenge, as if acknowledging Boston's status while subtly implying that a confrontation, on or off the court, might be imminent. The Celtics, who have been quietly building a roster with championship aspirations, now find themselves at the center of an NBA gossip storm. While the team's management has remained tight-lipped, sources suggest that Durant's comments have already sparked internal conversations about potential roster adjustments, trade possibilities, and even off-season maneuvers. Fans are dissecting every word, every gesture, trying to decode whether this is a mere taunt, a trial balloon, or the precursor to a blockbuster move. What makes this rumor particularly tantalizing is Durant's history of unpredictability. He has never shied away from making bold statements or shaking up expectations. If even a fraction of the speculation holds weight, Boston may be bracing for more than just an off-season shakeup. It could be the start of a full-blown NBA East saga, with Durant as the catalyst. While the league waits for official confirmation, one thing is certain: the Celtics and every contender in the East will be paying very close attention. As of now, the message remains just that, a message. But in the world of Kevin Durant, messages are rarely just words. They are invitations, challenges, and sometimes harbingers of seismic shifts in the NBA landscape. And if the past is any indicator, the next chapter could be one for the history books. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.